What's up, everybody? And man, do I have a pep in my step. But welcome to episode 7 of One Podcast for Nerds. And with me today, as always, is Austin.
Hey, how's it going?
Nolan, who's killing himself.
Hey.
And
I made it. I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you're here.
A warm hello.
And a warm welcome for you, my friend. So we got a lot to talk about, but before we get into it, I have to do the thing that I make Austin do on his show, which is a blood oath that I made myself give. As always, remember that you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at One Podcast for Nerds, and that's the number 1 and the number 4. As well as you can follow us on Twitch and Twitch and YouTube. Holy Christ. Twitch and YouTube at, again, One Podcast for Nerds. As always, you can find in the descriptions below where you can support us on Acast, as well as you can find a link to our Patreon page where you can also subscribe for $4 a month. And with that $4 a month, you'll get this show, be a part of the community, get a shout out and everything, as well as we have future shows in progress to be put up. But with all of that, let's go on to the news, guys. You guys ready to talk some news? You excited?
No.
I am.
Why are you not excited, Austin?
No, I'm excited. You said you asked if I was ready.
Are you ready now?
Yeah.
You're good now? All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. So we got some exciting stuff this last week, because we're doing 2 weeks now. E3 was announced, and it's coming back online, all digital. Have any of you watched E3? Like, I know like PlayStation and YouTube, and I can see your hand, Austin. I know PlayStation, YouTube, and Xbox would all stream it online. Did you guys ever watch it, other than Austin, clearly?
I've just watched videos on YouTube.
Like recaps?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well-
I used to just do what Nolan did and watch trailers, but then like I was sitting there, I'm like, you know what? Like I have nothing else better to do. Might as well.
I only watched the Nintendo one, which I know says a lot. You guys are all shocked by that. But
No.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. Who would have thought? But yeah, no, the only ones I ever watched was the Nintendo conferences. I didn't give a shit about anything else.
used
Until
to
I started playing
watch them
Skyrim, then Bethesda came into that.
Yeah, but Bethesda's evil.
Yeah, but I really like Skyrim, and I bought it 4 times, so, they got my money. But on that note of me watching Nintendo on it, is that Nintendo's back at E3, and they're gonna do their own Nintendo Direct during E3, which hasn't happened last 3 years. I don't know. Someone's gonna fact check me.
Switch.
I think it was before the Switch.
1 second. I got you.
All right.
Got you.
Well,
keep talking.
all right. So I guess Austin's gonna fact check me because I actually don't know. I 3 years would sound right. 3-4 years. I guess. Yeah. I think it was before the Switch though. But so this is all digital. You can watch it online, experience it yourself from home, no cost whatsoever, which is really sweet. And I'm actually excited to watch it. And I think we'll try and work something into it for One Podcast for Nerds, where maybe we can do like a live reaction to it. But we'll figure that out in more announcements as it comes closer. So its re-attendance starts June, goes to the 15th. Nintendo and Xbox are both attending. Then you got Capcom, Konami, Ubisoft, Take-Two Interactive, and Warner Bros. Games, which I'm assuming will probably have a lot to show regarding like the not Harry Potter, sorry, the Hogwarts game. And
Apparently they were there in 2019.
what?
June 6th. It says Nintendo. It was on Nintendo.com. As the E3 2019 video game trade show rapidly, but yeah, it says that they were there.
Oh, well, all right. I don't remember that at all. I don't even.
Yeah, because
2019.
game was available to play on the show floor, including Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh,
Which, the other games on the show floor was Luigi's Mansion,
right.
Legend of Zelda, and
Okay,
Marvel.
so I'm gonna
Ultimate Alliance.
I am gonna take everything I said kind of back because they always have stuff on the no. So they're always at E3. They have a show floor, which is always like
Mhm.
half of E3, but they've never done a conference at E3 anymore because of Nintendo Direct.
Oh, okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, because they always show their stuff either before or during, or before or after. Same with PlayStation. PlayStation's never been there. Maybe I'm just completely wrong.
PlayStation's there. PlayStation
No,
has
PlayStation-
conferences all the time.
No, they're not there anymore. They're not even going to
Well,
be there
not
this year.
anymore, but
No,
they
but they have a
but they
free-to-play.
did.
State of play. Feel
Yeah,
like
they
I'm
did
just
do,
generally wrong,
E3 as well.
and Nintendo's there.
Because they announced God of War at E3.
Am I on crack and I just think Nintendo's not there?
Must be, because without
I
Nintendo,
think I am. I think I am on
PlayStation-
crack. Yeah, I think there's more in those beer than just
It
beer.
would just be it literally be Xbox and Bethesda, and then the E3 be over.
I don't know why. Maybe I was thinking of PlayStation this entire time. I was just like, PlayStation.
Well, because I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Because,
you're
you're
first.
right.
I was
They do
wrong.
have State of
I
Play.
mean, as an
right?
amateur podcast, so whatever. I'm allowed to be wrong, but
but they do. They also PlayStation is also at E3 as well.
Holy Christ! What the hell was I thinking?
You're the news guy. Come
Oh.
on.
I know. I don't know. I go online and find this crap, and I look at it, and I'm like, "It was great." Just
Yeah,
kidding.
you
No,
can't believe
a lot
everything you
more
read
work.
on the internet.
A lot more work goes into that. But that being said, I do scour the internet for shit, and I don't know. I had a weird assumption. I had a weird like maybe I dreamt it. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I
Dreamt it.
lied. Don't listen to me. They are always there.
Are you Paul
They just
McCartney?
I think yeah. Well, that's a callback no one's gonna listen to for like 3 months. But okay.
Shut up. Let me have this.
No, I think actually what happened is that because they don't have conferences then anymore, they have Nintendo Direct, and I think that's what I had stuck in my head, right? Because they're always there. Like Xbox actually has a conference across the street. They'll
Yeah.
have like their conference at the Microsoft Center or whatever it's called, and then
Yeah, see,
PlayStation's just not there at all. And
no,
then
PlayStation does
Nintendo's
do E3 stuff, right? They do both state of play and E3 because I want to say back in like 20 not like maybe 2017 when they announced God of War, right, the new one. It was at E3 because I
But I
remember
thought they have
specifically watching it having like the like Viking kind of style theme playing. They had like a live orchestra there.
yeah. Wait, 2018?
Yeah, they had a live
Because
orchestra there.
It was 2019 though. They weren't there anymore.
Yeah, but they did go up to 20 like up to like that.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
also
no,
had
I
state of
know.
play before too.
I'm just saying. Well, I don't think it was called State Play. I think it was called something else at that time. But yeah, no, they're not there as of 2019, and they won't be there this year either. Like, so we have to look forward to a State of Play. But with that being said, is that I'm curious because there won't be a show floor, so people don't get to try out all the cool games that are coming out and all of that stuff. So like, I mean, this is like a pie in the sky kind of wish, but I hope maybe there's just more demos to try all these games for like everybody. Maybe even you have to like I would not go as far. I would not say as much as like or go as far as where you actually have to watch it to get like a code or something, during the stream, and then you can actually like download the game like a demo.
Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
I mean,
they have to do something to get the games out to people, though.
yeah,
You
right.
can only take so much from watching it on YouTube or like watching it online. You have to be able to experience it somehow.
And that's really the point of E3 is to you get hands-on try for this stuff. But it's I would not. I mean, that's one thing they could do, and I wouldn't be shocked if they you had to watch it and get the code because then it shows that you've been there to some extent and you've got interest in it and you get to play it. I just don't think like Nintendo comes to mind where they're just gonna drop demos on the Nintendo eShop just for the for the sake of it, right? But even that. Go.
I was going to say because Resident Evil just had their like Resident Evil show, right, to celebrate Village.
Yeah.
And they pretty much were like, yeah, no, we're dropping the demos like right now. Like PlayStation gets it first, right? Then the rest of the different consoles get it.
I don't have this in the notes, but did you watch the whole thing?
Yep.
Yeah,
Or no, I watched most of it. Once they got to like the arcade version, I stopped watching. I don't care about that.
We might touch on that later than at the end because I didn't watch it and I didn't put it in here because I didn't watch it and I don't think Nolan watched it.
Nope.
If you
It's
watched
cool,
it,
man.
yeah,
Looks
okay,
really
we'll tack on to that at the end. Then you can talk about it maybe if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so going on is I'm just curious though, like with what we had last year, is like, do you guys feel as though E3 is relevant? Like in 2021 with everyone has their own platforms now to showcase their own stuff. Like, I mean, Ubisoft has Ubisoft Forward, Nintendo has Directs, and Microsoft has the Xbox Showcase, and then you have PlayStation State of Play. Like, do you guys feel as though we ever even need an E3 anymore?
I think so, because you still have all the smaller players that need to have a platform to showcase their stuff. And I think it'd be nice to have all the big players have an event like the E3 where they have to one-up each other. That's where I want, like, you can wait for State of Play or Nintendo Direct for this bit of news and that bit of news, but like with the last Nintendo Direct, it was, I thought, just a letdown when it came to Zelda. And
God.
But something like E3, like, it's a bigger event. Like, that's where they're gonna have to come up with something bigger to outdo each other. and
That's really
that's
true.
where I want to hear the big news.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna go opposite of Nolan. It's sad to say, but I really don't think E3 is relevant anymore. I mean, it goes to show with everybody pulling out and going to their own shows. Like not even just like the big studios like Xbox and PlayStation.
He was really upset he left.
Yeah, I know that caught me off guard. Um, not even like Xbox and PlayStation, because E3 has their own now, right? Bethesda's going to be an Xbox One. It's not even going to have its own like show anymore. So in reality, like, do we need it? No. Is it sad? Yes, because this has been a part of gaming history forever. And as you know, I got really pissed off when they changed Xbox Live to Xbox Group or whatever the fuck it was called, right? So
Xbox Network.
yeah, there you go. So it's sad, but in reality, life's sad, and I don't think E3 is relevant or necessary anymore.
What's not devil's advocate? What is when you want to side with somebody? Angel's
you decide
Grace.
with somebody.
You can
No,
take
you
my
decide with
side.
somebody.
I'm gonna go straight down the middle where I think you guys are both right and wrong. Like I agree with Austin for bigger platforms. Like they don't need E3 anymore. Like they got their own crap. You know, you got your showcases, you got your directs, your state of plays. Like they got what they need to show directly to the viewers, even on their own platforms for that matter.
Mhm.
But the little guys need somewhere to talk, and it's like I mean, other than Nintendo, I mean they can partner up with PlayStation and Xbox for sure, and Nintendo like they do like during like the Nintendo Indies and stuff like that to showcase their own stuff. But those are partnerships that they're willing to do. You know, there's contracts that need to be signed, things that need to happen for that to go through. And I mean, some people are willing to do it, but there's probably a bunch that are willing not to. And I agree with Nolan in that sense that, yeah, the little guys need a voice. Little guys need a platform where they're able to showcase their stuff, what they got going on. Anyone who's just freshly entering the market too, that's the point of E3 is innovation, where people can show up with new ideas and new tech to like go around and be like, hey, it's also a great place to make connections, right? And that's what businesses are about. That's what life is about, is going around, meeting new people, showing, what you got and what the other what competitors have, and being able to connect and make those connections in order to progress your idea or progress innovation in any shape or form that it comes in, whether it's a video game engine, whatever it can be, right? So I think you both are right, and I also think you both are wrong. So that's where I'm gonna go down right now. I agree and disagree with both of you. But
Bones, what do you think?
yeah, Bones, what do you think? Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that.
Well, they need to showcase their new stuff somewhere, somehow. Not just marketing, not just like advertisements. They need to show people what they're doing.
And he's right. Like
you could have like an exclusive event where only journalists and like the news organizations that follow video games can go to.
Well, that used to be E3 where it was only journalists, but the common rabble, if you would, are able now to enter that vicinity and
You
partake.
mean us?
Yeah, us.
Yeah.
Until maybe I just want it to be more relevant though, because
until we're big and huge and can go ourselves.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Go on, Nolan. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just want it to be more relevant because you have the Nintendo Direct and the State of Play, but you have one in January, you have another one in March. Like, there's no direct competition between either of them, really, because it's just, this is what we're doing. And then next month, like, Sony's like, this is what we're doing. It's like, if you force them to bring everything to the table at the same time, it's going to force them to just come up with something bigger and come up with more and just push them further, I think. Otherwise, if you get rid of something like E3 where they're all competing for the news at the same time, I just think it's going to lead to stagnation.
Well, I was going to say even with Jonah's point though, where he said himself like press, a place where press and everyone can go. The one thing E3 has over like PAX East to some extent and everything else. Sorry, the beer's getting me. Is that mainstream media picks up E3, like CNN, The Guardian, like, people report on that kind of stuff in mainstream media where it actually gets out to the general public more than it does like for people who like read Kotaku or industry.biz or IGN, right? Like it gets out into the mainstream media. And that's able for those little guys again to get out there and become the big three. Now, that being said, if the big three come out with something wicked, that's obviously going to dominate, the press, but it just gives a chance for everyone to kind of, to get out there, make connections and showcase what they got going on to everybody who is paying attention, for that matter.
I just think if Nintendo Direct was something that they were going to put out during E3 and they were going to have to compete with the news that Sony and Microsoft are going to have, I just think we'll see more of an effort from Nintendo.
Yes, but you got to remember, Nintendo really hasn't been competing with Microsoft or PlayStation for a long time. They kind of have their own corner of the market. It's just been PlayStation and Microsoft really duking out for the console wars, and Microsoft's kind of going for its own corner as well. So there's no real reason for them to duke it up, other than, like you said, to keep friendly competition going.
Yeah. So since GameCube, Nintendo doesn't give two shits what everyone else is doing.
It's really worked out quite well for them as well.
I didn't put this in here, but Sony, PlayStation 5 is breaking some records. But up until, let's say, now, Switch is still doing really well. But let's say up until now, 2 years, the Switch has been the best-selling console every month for the last 24 months, because I had to do the math in my head. They're doing really well. Like, they have nothing to lose, and they have nothing to compete with. They are, tech. Sure, okay, you got PlayStation and Sony for like graphics and hard drives.
Pure power.
Yeah, right. But then you got Sony, where it's like, fuck it, we're two things. We're home console and we're on the go. Like, fuck you guys.
Take us wherever the fuck you want to go.
Yeah, compete with us. And I mean,
PlayStation did try, but they just couldn't break into the market.
The Vita was really great, and that console was very underrated. I feel compared to what it was. Compared to what it received. And so in that sense that, like, I think I never bought one, and I regret not buying one. I didn't, and I wish I did. I have a PSP, which were cool, but the whole UMD thing was garbage. And but it was fun. Like, there were some games on there that I thoroughly enjoyed, and then the Vita just built on that way better, and it had some great games that you could play on there. But yeah, you're right. Like, they couldn't break ground to what the DS was holding on to, right? Like, it's the Japanese market that they had. I feel they had a hard time breaking through. I think the US market accepted it for what it was, but I think the Japanese market just was like, nah, Nintendo's better.
Well, it's just the same reason with Microsoft and like consoles and everything like that. Why they're trying to get into the Japanese market, but they're like, Sony's like, bitch, this is our home ground, all right? Like,
for two major corporations, you got Nintendo and Sony both in there, and they're trying to break around in there. Yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
No, I agree, and I think Xbox might actually have a chance this time. I do. We'll wait and see, but I do think they have a chance to break into that market. But we'll talk about that a little later on. So yeah, E3 I think is both relevant and, to some extent irrelevant. I know that's a dumb answer to give, but
no, you're just on the fence. It's okay to be on the fence.
Well, no, you both gave good points for both sides, and I agree and disagree with both of you for what it was. But I think, I enjoy E3. I'm glad it's here. I'll watch it, and we'll see what happens. And I know I put it in the notes, but maybe we'll think about doing like a live stream of us reacting to E3, and I don't think we'll do the whole E3 because that's a long day. But I think
I usually do it though.
I usually do it too. Oh well,
I'll take the day off work for that.
All right. Well, maybe we'll pick a day that we really want to do, and we'll just do it all, or at least pick times.
We could all go. We could do like board game night again. I'll hang out at one house.
It's June. Well, it's June. Who knows? We might be able to hang out again.
Yeah.
Pac-Man 99.
I have nothing to say about this. I didn't even watch it.
Is the new available weird battle royale for Nintendo Switch after Mario 35 and Tetris 99, which you can still play. But so it's an all new flavor of Pac-Man. Test your chomping chomps in a 99-player Pac Royale. So Pac-Man 99 is an online Pac-Man battle royale 40 years after the classic Pac-Man phenomenon rocked the gaming world. Pac-Man is back in a new 99-man battle royale. Get back in the maze and chase down the iconic ghosts who will be the last Pac-Man standing. Dun 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 dun. Switch between 8 different strategies and send Jammer Pac-Men, which I don't know what is, to get into your opponent's way. Eat a power pellet to turn the ghosts blue and make them vulnerable. Eat them to send Jammer Pac-Man to your opponents. The more ghosts you eat, the more jammers you'll send. Anyone play it? Anyone give it a go? No, I didn't either. It looked cool though. I kind of want to try it.
You are the battle royale guy.
Well, I play Apex. Is the only battle royale I go for.
I don't play any battle royales, so you're the battle royale guy.
I've got Apex on my Switch.
Oh, I'm sorry for you. Get it on PC. I'll play with you on PC. I will not play with you on Switch.
Yeah, no, I didn't even watch it. The moment I seen it, I was like, I didn't even watch the trailer you sent me. I was like, fuck this. I have nothing to say about this.
I like Tetris 99. It was fun. Mario 35 was a lot of fun. I did play that a lot. Pac-Man 99. Like, I've played Pac-Man. Who hasn't? I just don't know if I'd be good at it though. Like, I should go and just become pro Pac-Man player. Waka waka, everybody out.
Waka waka. What are you, Fuzzy the Bear? Waka waka. Who wants to hear a funny ass joke?
What the fuck?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
From the Muppets.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I guess they say the same thing. Kinda. Do they say the same thing though?
Yeah, he says waka waka.
This is off topic. Let's move back on to Pac-Man 99.
Well, I try to derail us because I don't want to talk about it.
This isn't even video game related enough off topic that I don't even want to like entertain the idea.
I can't wait for a Muppet game.
There are Muppet games out there.
Are there?
Yeah, then we're gonna talk about it, so I can be. We can talk about Fozzie the Bear because it's technically video game related.
When there's new Pac-Man or new Muppet game, yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I guess I'm a little curious why I decided to go with Pac-Man. Like, I guess Bandai Namco was just like, hey, we got this cool idea. You guys want to do a Pac-Man 99 game? Which was a weird choice. If there's one thing I would love to do is Galaga. I think would be sweet. Like Galaga 99.
That would be fun.
Space Invaders. There was so many options they could have went with other than Pac-Man 99. I mean, it's a really iconic game. Don't get me wrong. Like if anyone watches High Score on Netflix, Pac-Man was a big hit. Like it was appealing to everybody. But that being said, like, it's not the 1980s. So like, we could have went with something a little nicer this time, which Galaga would be fun. Space Invaders would have been fun. Like I'm just curious why Pac-Man, I guess in the end, like who was like, yeah, this seems like a good idea.
It's not a competitive game.
Well, neither was Mario 35, really. I mean, Mario wasn't really it's based on how far you get.
Of Mario and stuff like that. So I mean, that could be quite interesting.
But they went with like last Mario standing. It wasn't like Mario with the highest score or Mario who finished the map the longest, right, or the quickest. It was like who was the last Mario standing was the idea of Mario 35, and that actually was a lot of fun. I haven't played Pac-Man, so I don't really want to diss it more than I need to. I mean, like, I'll try it and see what I think. I was just curious if anyone else gave it a whirl, or, well, you didn't have a Switch anyway, so why does it matter? Yeah, you cry. Do it on podcasts. I want to hear your tears.
It's right here.
Oh, you download? Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh, that was hilarious.
Fuck. Like we play Monster Hunter right now, for Christ's sakes.
Bones, you play Pac-Man?
Fuck no.
See, somebody with a head on his soldiers. Come on.
I'm gonna let you restate that sentence.
Why did I said soldiers, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Fuck.
Whatever.
You know what? I'm gonna leave it out there. I'm an idiot. I'm okay with it.
It's all fun and games. Literally. But yeah, so really just like you've never played Pac-Man in your life? Like you've never played Pac-Man?
I don't currently. I have.
But you have. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There was a bowling alley in the small town I grew up, and they had an old school like the glass tabletop Pac-Man machine.
Really? That's actually fucking sick.
That's actually old too. Like that is
had, like,
hardcore retro.
Under the glass.
Oh, I'm jealous actually.
You know what would be a much better thing instead of Pac-Man 99? Tron.
99 people playing Tron would be a fiasco in so many ways.
It would be so cool.
You would be dead. Like you just have.
I'd die immediately. I'm horrible, but I think it would be really cool.
Comes. All you got to do is get to the center first and do a square, and you're done. Get out.
Yeah.
You're done. That's all you had to do. Like that's it. game
Yeah.
over.
Game
So
over,
it was
man.
it was
Game
it was
over.
literally a race to the finish. Not that everyone travels at the same speed, but
See, and look, you even got their catchphrase for him.
I hate you. But anyways, Pac-Man 99, everybody. If you want to give it a whirl, go for it. It's on Nintendo Switch. I won't hate you if you try.
I might.
So we had the Nintendo Nindies happen. Anyone watch that?
I did.
Pardon?
Sorry. And then I keep calling it Nintendo like the Nintendies or whatever it's called, but it's just Indie World. I don't know why I keep calling it that. They used to call it that before, didn't they?
I have no idea. I thought you called it the Nintendo Nudies. I was like, what the fuck?
Nah, tomato to nudies.
Run that by me again.
But yeah, so we got a new indie showcase from Nintendo with some, well, to me, one big hitter, but there's a few outliers in there for sure.
Mhm.
I really thought there was a lot of interesting stuff in there.
But well, then everyone watched it, obviously. So since everyone watched it, what's everyone's I'm not going through them all because there was a lot, and I don't want to go through them all. So we picked out our favorites or what stood out to us, and so let's start with Nolan. What was stood out for you, and what are you excited for?
I just thought the quality of a lot of the games looked pretty good. I kind of excited about Ollie Ollie World because it looks like Skate or Die, just a little more modern. But the gameplay, the fluidity of it, it all looks like an exciting, fun game to play. And I really loved Scare Die when it was out on the Nintendo, the original NES. Loved it. And yeah, I'm a sucker for any game that makes me think of the old games I used to play when I was a kid. And that's what a lot of the stuff on the indie world looked like to me. Because a lot of the animation, a lot of the graphics, a lot of it just pulls on my heartstrings.
Charm. The word you're looking for is charm.
Charm. It's all got charm.
That or nostalgia.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what kind of? I mean, I think to all of us though, with nostalgia, it is charm.
It is.
So like,
I call it pandering because I'm an angry gamer.
Well, it panders to the old emotions and feelings I had when I was a kid, when I first started playing video games. And the great thing about the indie world, though, is so many of these games are so different from each other, and a lot of it's nothing like you see from the big major studios.
Mhm.
And I know you really like that Road 96. You'll want to talk about that, but a lot of the games are just, I thought, kind of beautiful to watch in the trailer.
Every single artwork, even like if it's not a gameplay style that I would personally enjoy, everybody put in their time, like all the developers, and I think every single game they showed is beautiful in its own way.
Absolutely.
Well, oh no, continue.
No, like you're right. Like, and that's what I love about all these games that come from these little studios that come out on the Switch, on Nintendo, because they don't look like, to me, they don't look like games that would have come out on Sony or Microsoft. And this is why I'm more of a Switch guy I'm more Nintendo than I am PlayStation and Xbox. And it's because of a lot of the games like these, like Skull, the Hero Slayer. I love the fact that instead of focusing on the hero of a story, you're focusing on one little undead skeleton.
Leveling up to be the big bad.
And like, I just thought it's a really cool take on that. One of the, I thought, most beautiful looking games was the Getsu Fumaden, the Undying Moon. The animation, just everything about that just looked beautiful.
Yeah, by far, it's probably going to be the most beautiful roguelike.
Oh yeah, and if I don't forget about it, I'm going to try and get that because I want to play that. It looks like a game I'm going to really enjoy playing.
Well, I was just gonna say, even though you're heavily into Switch, PlayStation and Xbox get a lot of these similar games too, right? Like, I mean, you got Steam, man. Like, a lot of these games are already out.
They're just coming.
I'm gonna have to get Steam now that I got Xbox
Game Pass. You don't have Steam?
No, I don't.
I should give you my. I should just give you my Steam password.
You should.
Yeah.
Real OG. That way he doesn't have to buy all those games.
I just don't know if we can play games at the same time though. If he gets it.
Possible.
All right, we can text.
You're always
I can let you know. I'm playing this, so hands off.
Well, it's no. I mean, like, we can't. I just don't think if you're running Steam, I can't run Steam, and I my worry is that, like, we can't play games together as much. But I don't know. I'll look into it. But yeah, so they are beautiful games, and there's a lot of diversity among them of what it is.
A lot of diversity.
Well, with
looking at like what the influence from different areas or different countries are like the Mexican studio, they made that Azteca game.
Yeah,
and
that cool.
it's not a game that not the style I like to play, but it looks like a really intriguing game just because it's so different, because it's got all the Aztec architecture and influence, which, because it's made in Mexico.
Yeah, it's a what is it called? It's called Maya futurism or something like that. It's kind of like Afrofuturism, like Black Panther. It's really interesting. It's like high tech, like future mixed in with old Mayan architecture.
Well, Austin, on that note, like what stood out for you then, other than Aztec?
For me, like Nolan had said before, Road set at 96 looks fucking really interesting, and it's not one of the video games that like normally would catch my eye. Like I like Telltale and stuff like that, and like create your own adventure. But I found there's the pure amount of stories that it's advertises that it has 148,268 stories. It's a lot of fucking stories, a lot of experience that you can have there, right? So it's like they're advertising as this this road trip epic, and you can there's like even if there is so say 98% of the road trips are boring as hell, right? 98% of them. But there's 2% that are super, super awesome. I want to experience those 2%, right? And even if it ends up being kind of a flop, looks interesting, looks like a beautiful game, and it's gonna scratch that Telltale itch that I don't no longer have because Telltale is gone.
Well, didn't someone buy them?
I mean, if they do, they better put out a Wolf Among Us 2 because that was I was pretty pissed when I never got it.
I thought someone buy them, but I don't know. We'll look into it later.
And then there was Chris Tales as well, which is a JRPG, and it's in this really cute like hand-drawn style, and it's like right up my alley. Like after playing like Persona 5, I've been getting like knee deep into like every single like JRPG I can afford. And this game looks like something that I can afford, and I'm going to give it a go. It's the art style, the way the camera works, and everything like that. How it almost seems like it plays with time as like a mechanic in like the battle and everything like that. It just like soothes interest to me, and it just seems like a total interesting new way of playing a game that I've experienced, but I never got to play.
Yeah, those are all good. Those are all really good choices. Yeah. So, Christ Tales is from Dreams Incorporated and Psych, drawing inspiration from classic and modern JRPGs. Christ Tales incorporates time traveling into its storyline and combat with a variety of surprise effects, like making enemies younger and thus easier to defeat. While exploring this handcrafted dark fairy tale world, you'll recruit a diverse cast of allies and discover new realms. And that lands on Nintendo Switch on July 20th, so it's not too far away.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a few games. One for me for whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's Ollie Ollie World. I got a soft spot for skateboarders, I guess. I'm really unsure why, but anything to do with a skateboard. I don't skateboard in real life. I don't, and I mean, I've kind of wanted to, I guess, but I've never took it up. But that's definitely a game that has caught my eye, and I'll probably give it a whirl. I really hope some of these games have some sort of demo, but yeah, that's one that really caught my eyes. So just to go over it, Ollie Ollie World is the bold new entry into Ollie Ollie series is here, and Ollie Ollie World tear up streets of Radland and goddamn Radland and search for mystical skate gods in this slick action platformer with super tight control and level design that flows with your combos, and you'll have a blast mastering tricks, meeting colorful characters, and discovering the hidden secrets of the vivid and vibrant world Ollie Ollie World, which comes out later this winter. But, and this is a big but, the game that I am most excited for out of the entire list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge from Tribute Games. So I loved the NES beat 'em up. of TMNT and Nolan, I'm sure out of everyone here.
Absolutely.
Bones,
Oh,
you ever
man.
played Bones? Did you play TMNT? Because you didn't get. I think N64 was your first, wasn't it?
I don't remember playing any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You know what? We might live in the same town, so we'll play it together. But yeah, no. So TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Like I was a huge fan of the NES version. I actually never played the sequel of this game, which was on Super Nintendo, and that was TMNT's. What was it called again? It was something in time, right?
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time, because I, for some reason, don't have that in front of me. But so like this game has basically takes the Super Nintendo graphics, modernizes them to what we have today, in what is 16-bit, and I say that extremely loosely. But it's with a blend of retro and modern visuals. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge finds the 4 favorite turtles kicking some serious shell in classic arcade-style beat-em-up action. Up to 4 players can play locally or online in this bodacious game developed by Tribute Games and published by Dotemu. It's .emu, isn't it? I said that name wrong. Actually, it's .emu because it's French. So come at me. They also published Streets of Rage 4 and Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap.
Oh, Streets of Rage 4. That's a good game.
That is a good game. Nolan, you can get that on Xbox Game Pass.
My question is, like, I know they didn't really get into it right now, but will we be able to like unlock like playing as Splinter or fucking April or like maybe even
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones.
So
I
that
don't
wasn't.
think so.
I mean, yeah, we never saw that in the trailer, so I can't say. I mean, maybe. I don't
It'd
see
be
why
cool.
not. Who knows? Like, it could be something like Smash Bros, where they're like a trophy setting, and they just kind of come into the fight. I mean, they might not be playable characters, but you'll probably see them in the
Didn't
game.
you say Shredder's Revenge?
Yeah.
Maybe you can play as Shredder and kill the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
Heard it here first, folks.
Oh,
Bones is
Joan is a part of the
anti-turtles.
Foot Clan.
I
Man,
think that was uncalled for.
all I can think of, I'm not kidding you, all I can think of is that stupid YouTube, or what was it? I think it was a Vine or whatever, where it's like girls trying to save the turtles, and she's like, save the turtles, and it's like a tortoise, which don't swim, and she threw it into a well.
Yes. I saw that.
God. Nolan, or Bones, that's you. Sorry, Nolan, I don't know why I threw you in there.
I want some shredded turtle burgers.
Frog
Apparently,
legs?
they're not bad.
Radioactive.
It is by a French. It is also published by a French company. So turtle legs or frog legs, not turtle legs. What am I talking about, guys?
I don't know. You were kind of out of it today.
I'm out of it every week. That's my gimmick.
Well, hey,
I don't know.
take
I
the
don't know what
shell
I'm
off
talking
of a
about.
turtle. They might look like a frog.
Really?
I think it would be the most grotesque looking thing you could have looked at.
That's
Took it
part of
off.
a skeleton.
Evolution at its worst. Let's say that. But yeah, so
Let's kill some Ninja Turtles. Moving on.
before we move on, Bones, is there anything that you watched the trailer with us? Is there anything that looked interesting to you? I know there's a lot of games that looked really shitty.
I don't know that skateboarder one, the Ollie Ollie. Basically, if you like Sonic the Hedgehog and skateboarding, that's it. That's what it is.
That's a very limited audience for Sonic the Hedgehog. I actually I downloaded. Who I was talking to a friend of mine who got the Sega collection on their Switch. It's like, oh, you know what? You can get that for free on Steam. Yeah, you just get Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and that game is like I've played it before, and I forgot how frustrating that game can be. like the jumping mechanic is garbage on Sega, and it didn't port well. They were like, you know what? Let's keep this to what it was. Oh, you want to jump? You can't jump that high. So,
are you talking about Sonic 2004?
No, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Sega Genesis.
Oh.
So there's been like early. This was in like 93, 2. Don't know. Early 90s.
At least that game was playable.
Oh, it was playable. I'm just saying that like that's the thing. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on Sega. Sega has great games, but the issue between Sega and Nintendo was that like Sega had great art. Every game looked beautiful.
Yeah.
But the gameplay for jumping, like it's almost like if you think of Donkey Kong on Super Nintendo, and how like, or even Crash Bandicoot for that matter in modern day, how like the hitbox and like the jumping is just, it doesn't work really well. It doesn't feel like it's more modern. It that's kind of what Sonic was back in the day, where like you would jump, but you just couldn't quite make it, or like it just was a challenging platformer. I think that's the best I could say. Mega Man in every single game ever made. But
You just need to play it more, Andrew.
I actually have been playing it a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
It's super frustrating, but I play it a lot.
You've been playing it a lot, but you're bad at it.
You know what?
Those fighting words.
No. You know what? I'm gonna Twitch stream me playing Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's literally gonna be like Andrew's bad at Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That's what the stream title is gonna be, and everyone can just watch me get pissed off and swear the entire time.
This game's fucking bullshit.
All right, so moving on. So this next topic that we're gonna talk about is Xbox related, because I got a little bit of everything in here. This is hella speculation in the sense that like none of this is true, or I shouldn't say none of this is true, but none of it has come into fruition. Like there's nothing to collaborate anything. No. So anyways, there is talks and rumors going around that Hideo Kojima is in talks with Xbox to make a game specifically for Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah, so that on its own is interesting. Now, the second part of this is also really interesting, and actually Bones has a lot of thanks to this, because he sent me a article a couple days ago that I think I posted to Discord for all of you to read, but I don't remember.
I wasn't able to read it.
That's okay. Anyways, so
the Game Bolt one, right?
What? Yeah, Game Bolt. Yeah.
Game Bolt?
Yeah. So you sent me an article where it was talking about how Konami is looking to license Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid to third-party publishers. And what's really Meto, I know, right? It's the mic. It's new. All right, give me a break. Anyways, so there's talks going around that these things are up for grab for third-party publishers. And so what would be wicked is that if Xbox came in and was like, hey, yeah, sure, we'll publish Metal Gear Solid. Here's the thing though, is that like that's going around, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be Xbox exclusive. Well, I guess like the whole on this story is that if Konami's like, yeah, you can take the license, they're not gonna be like, no, it's first party. No, they're gonna be like, you gotta publish it for everybody. So there's that. Maybe. I just don't see Konami being like, oh, what I mean, no offense to Xbox players. Xbox is doing really well this year, or this time around with their generation. But PS5 is just more popular. PS4 is more popular. It's just, I feel like if Konami was like, yeah, take it, publish it for just your system, unless it was time exclusive, which would make sense. But yeah, they wouldn't be like it's Xbox exclusive. That just wouldn't happen. So I'm gonna there's a hole in that story. Then there was a rumor going around that Xbox was also looking to buy Square Enix, which Square Enix came out yesterday saying no part of Square Enix or any part of our business is up for sale. So that put that to rest. So if Hideo Kojima is looking to make a game for Xbox, it is not Silent Hill related, because that rumor where he was helping a project or publisher Blue Box making Abandoned, that was a huge rumor being like, oh, this is a new Silent Hill game. That was debunked by Blue Box. And then Square Enix was debunked by themselves about Xbox looking to pay for them or buy them. So I would doubt that like Silent Hill or even Metal Gear for that matter is going to be published by Xbox, because there's no way Xbox would be like, yeah, we'll do it, and third party. That being said, hold up. That being said,
lose too much money that way.
That being said, though, one more fact is that Xbox is looking to buy Sega, which has not, like, Sega hasn't came out to be like, we're not getting purchased. So like there's a lot of speculation with Xbox, what's going on, because we before the show was taping, I think that we talked about how Xbox was looking to break into the Japanese market.
I think that was in the show, because it was when we were talking about E3 and everything like that, right?
Yeah, maybe. But that being said, I mean, regardless, this is a way for them to break into the market.
That is true. But if they buy Sony, I think it's a little too
Sega.
If they buy Sega, it's a little too late. Right? Sega only makes games now. They don't really
Well, yeah, but that's the point, right? Is that they're a Japanese publisher though. Like that, and that's the way to get into the market. And to some extent, right? And even Sony, disbanded one of their main Japanese publishers. So now all these people are looking for work. So here are all these high-end JRPG developers scratching around Japan looking for work, you know? Yeah, I can't speak. This microphone really picks up my mistakes. It was a bad investment.
So with Konami and that stuff right there, I knew it wasn't going to be real because you were originally saying that Kojima was going to be doing something with Xbox, right? It wouldn't ever be Resident Evil or Silent Hill because Konami and Kojima had a really rough breakup, right?
First off, Resident Evil is Capcom. I think you mean Silent Hill, right?
Yeah, Silent Hill and Metal Gear.
Resident Evil is Capcom.
Yeah, no, I meant to say Silent Hill and Metal Gear, right? Because Konami and Kojima had a really big, bad breakup. So it would never happen if Konami would never lend it to anybody that had Kojima in the works.
We don't really know what happened, though. I mean, it
was well publicized.
Some of it is, but none of it's been proven.
Well, that's good.
And that being said, Xbox okay, again, I think this is not going to happen. This is speculation. This is how I put it, maple candy in the stars. But there's no way I feel like I made it up. All right, that's the whole point. I said pie in the sky earlier. I went with a different treat. I'm going with our nationality over here. But I don't think. If they were to pick up Metal Gear and Kojima and put it together, I don't think Konami would say. I don't think Konami would say no if it was a third, if it was going to be second party, I guess, or however you want to say it, where it was they produce it, but it's published for everybody. That's the only way I think it would work.
You're right. That would work, but I just don't think that. I think they're both so petty enough that they wouldn't let Kojima work on it again.
I don't know.
Right, after Kojima, Metal Gear was Kojima's baby,
yeah,
right?
I know.
And then the moment he left, they drug its name through the dirt with Survive and all these different games that they put out.
Yeah, that game. Well, Pain was really good. Or the one after that I heard was pretty good. I stopped playing after 2.
Oh, I'm this is after Metal Gear 5.
Yeah.
Right, but it's just I just don't see it happening with Kojima and Konami having such a rough breakup.
Again, speculation. We don't really know. But
what I want to see is Kojima do a mashup of Metal Gear and something more horror related. Because he's always wanted to do a horror game.
What was that?
He said that in multiple interviews.
What was that game? What was that game that came out for PS4, Austin?
PT.
That PT.
Yeah, because PT was actually going to be a Silent Hill thing, and believe it or not, Nolan, he was going to be doing a remake of Silent Hill, and that was going to star what's his name from The Walking Dead, right? And then when him and Konami had the breakup, they canceled it completely. So that's why Death Stranding happened, because he still wanted to work with that actor, right? And say what you want about Death Stranding, it's not the most interesting gameplay, but it takes that gameplay to the absolute peak level of that gameplay or that game style. So
I've not played that.
It's a pretty game, not my style of game. Bones, did you ever play Death Stranding?
No, I did not.
It's essentially a package simulator, right? But the really cool aspects of it were planning out your journey, right? If you didn't pack the right stuff for your journey, you were going to have a long walk around. So say you're going through mountains and stuff like that, you need ladders, and you put down a ladder, it's stuck there, so you just leave it, and then other people in their world, that ladder will be there, so it'll make their journey easier.
Don't you have to carry some infant in a bag of jelly?
Yeah, it's so the infant kind of thing. It's weird, just because I think Kojima is a really good game developer, but he's a weird guy himself. the baby is like stillborn, so it's in between life and death, and that's what makes it be able to sense the ghosts with its little like sensey thing it has. Right, and that's how you get away from the ghosts in that game. It's weird, but that's like
sounds all kinds of fucked up.
yeah,
And
it's
so it's always marinating in the jelly. So later in the game, when you need to eat, you can eat the infant. Is that right?
Shit.
yeah, no, not at all. But
Not my kind of game then.
yeah, no, it's not everybody's style game, but it's actually a really good game. For what it set it out to do. But yeah, that whole series set out from Kojima not being able to do Silent Hill.
I remember the trailers. The trailers looked amazing.
Yeah.
They looked great. That's
And
what I can
PT
say
was
about it.
fucking amazing as well. Like I think there's PS4s that are still like selling on eBay for like thousands and thousands of dollars just because they had PT on it.
Yeah. No. So again, it's all speculation, like what it could mean and what's going to happen and stuff like that regarding Kojima and Xbox. But I think it's going to happen. No, I don't. And I mean, it's rumors. I mean, they don't, unless there's hard evidence, they don't ever really turn out to be true for that matter. But
well, I'm not saying like Kojima wouldn't do a game with Xbox. I'm just saying
no.
Konami wouldn't do a game with Xbox if it was linked to Kojima.
100%. Yeah, no. I mean, the most likely story out of this would be that Kojima is doing a game with Xbox than anything else that's came out of these rumors in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But moving on, I'm the only one that's going to experience this next story. But PlayStation 5 had its one big update, which is actually pretty awesome to some extent. I'm okay with it. I'm not great for it, but it's awesome, I guess. What's up, Austin?
You can share play PS4 now.
I can, yeah. I was trying to do
Yeah,
that.
I see that.
With you earlier, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's
So,
really
yeah.
cool.
So you can store. So the big thing is that you can store PS5 games on compatible external USB drives, which I have. Like I have one that I store my PS4 games on. The only thing is though is you can't play your PS5 games off the external hard drive. So Sony is still waiting to release information regarding M2 drives, which you'll eventually be able to install into your PS5s, and therefore you can install your games onto that as extra storage. As Austin said, cross generation share play between PS4 and PS5, where you can share play your PS4 or PS5 games to PS4 players and vice versa. I know you can sometimes play like games from you can play multiplayer games via share play. Can't do that between PS4 and PS5 because you need a dual sense to play PS5 games.
But apparently, like I'm wondering how that works because I was reading somewhere that some places, like some games, you can actually try for on your PlayStation 4 through share play playing on somebody else's screen.
Yeah, I can see that being PS4 to PS4 games though.
Oh no, like I mean, like I read somewhere. I don't remember the exact website, but you can play some PlayStation 5 games.
Damn, if you can, man. We'll try it out and see what you can and cannot play. I bet you can play Miles Morales though.
Oh, because that's on both games, so that would make sense. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, maybe. You can now request to join game sessions, which I didn't know you couldn't do, actually. Which ideally,
like what do you mean?
Well, it means so a selection of your friends' joinable game sessions will now appear on both PS5 and PS4 consoles, allowing for more gameplay opportunities together. So I guess what that just means is, again, we're back into the cross-generational like play where your PS4 and PS5 players can request to join their sessions cross-generation.
Well, that makes sense. I think that should have been in there beforehand.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Improved game base. The game base menu has been improved for quicker access to important content and features. Now, that being said, the one thing that I do not like about the PS5, and this is a very small non-like, is that on the PS4, you could hold down the home button and you will end up on the quick menu to like enter rest mode or whatever it is. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not a thing on the PS5. You have to you just hit it once and then you get like everything together. But man, every time I try to get a quick out, try to put my PS5 into rest mode, I fucking hold that button down for 5 seconds every time. It's muscle memory for me after playing PS4 for 8 years. But
No, that makes sense.
yeah, it's tough to get over. But yeah, that's something you can do. Disable game chat or adjust player's volume. So you can now quickly disable in-game chat, which turns off your mic and audio and voice audio for other players. So this is a weird one because most online games already allow you to do this, but I guess maybe this is like an overall master setting, like how you can have your audio master setted over in like many games via PS5 menu. So because I mean, like when I play Apex Legends and you can already like mute yourself against you and other players, and then I can hop into like, you know, the chat that I do with Bones where we play PS5 together on for Apex. But the next one is funny because I think me and Jonah were always wondering about PS4 updates when it comes to games in rest mode. So game updates pre-downloaded is the next one, which is once it's enabled by developers, titles updated for games will be pre-downloaded to your console if the automatic update setting is enabled on your console is enabled and your console is on or in rest mode. I'm a little shocked that's not already in the system. And also, I'm really shocked that
like
well, that's what it says in the effing menu, and then
right? Like you always have issues when it comes to Apex updates. Like it never updates. Like
it's a constant
in rest
cycle
mode.
of psychosis because it's like you turn on your PS4, it's like, oh, it needs an update. It's like, but I enabled it, and then you go back to check your menu, you see that it is enabled, then you go back to the download, and you think, why? And then a month later, or a week later, or a day later, I don't know, the same fucking thing happens.
I know, man. We try to play all the time, and every time we have to play, I'm like,
oh well, maybe I'll just do the same thing again, and maybe it'll work.
I just message you now, being like, "There's an update." That's what I do now. I'll just message you like, "Hey man, Apex has an update," because like so they updated the app, the PlayStation app on your phone. So now I get notifications for this crap, just like I get notifications when Bones is online, and which was why I knew you were online at 3:00 in the morning, by the way. But that being said, is that I can get updates now, so I can actually.
Enthusiasm is a very alluring show. It like pulls you right in. Really good. It's pretty good.
It is a good show. But that being said, is that like, yeah, I will now text you when there's an update because I will know beforehand, and I'll be like, "There's an update. Just turn on your PlayStation, just do it, so we can just get into it and go."
I think we should make like a social media account about the update.
Yeah, we should just post it to everybody. We'll just share it. We'll just share it on Instagram. Follow us at One Podcast for Nerds for our Apex updates.
So one thing I have a question, Andrew. My biggest gripe with PlayStation 4 is downloading an update and then having it download in like 4 seconds because I have good internet, and then have the update copy for like 2 hours. That's what happens on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it happens with everybody.
Yeah, I know, but does it? They were advertising that wouldn't be a thing on PlayStation 5.
It's not.
So it's still a thing.
No, it's not a thing. So if I was to compare between me and Bones updating Apex, I'm done quicker.
Yeah, okay, good. Because like, fuck that, man. That's bullshit.
I'm done a lot of things quicker than Bones, though. So
I don't know if you should be proud of that or not.
I don't know what it means either. So we'll just move on. But so you can now screen zoom. So you can now adjust the magnification of a screen to suit your preference. I didn't even know you could do that on a PS4.
Can you?
You apparently can. Didn't know that.
How do you do it? I'll have to look it up.
I think you like zoom on the touchpad.
Your resolution's going to get shitty and pixely.
Yeah, but it's for players with certain disabilities.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's an accessibility add-on. New trophy settings and stat screens. I mean, but so the level of trophies that result in automatic capture of a screen. Oh, actually, no, this is really cool. So the level of trophies that result in automatic capture of a screenshot or video clip can now be customized. So you know when you get a trophy on PS4 and it's like the most obscured looking screenshot you've ever gotten, where it's like, I mean, I got one on Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it's me zoomed in with a headshot, and the whole entire screen is just blurred out. You can now customize that so it doesn't actually have to look like that. So you can pick like the moment before or like, you know, a couple moments after or whatever. So you can actually customize how that looks. And I actually kind of think that should have been a feature implemented on the PS4. as well as I mentioned earlier, new PS5 app features. So basically, what this app does. So basically, your PS app on your phone has been updated to what ideally the Xbox app can do. So what they say is we're also introducing a myriad of new features of PlayStation app to make it easier than ever to connect with your console experience remotely. Recently, we introduced the ability to save products in a wish list, get notifications when your friends are online, bones, and change your console online status. In the coming weeks, we'll be rolling out even more, including the ability to join a multiplayer session on PS5 from the app, manage your PS5 console storage, compare the trophy collections with your friends, and a sort of and filters produced shown in the PlayStation Store. So that's nifty.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of like that they're finally keeping up with Xbox regarding this kind of thing. So I'm more into it than I was before to use it. But yeah, no, I think it is pretty cool too. And then lastly, we have some shitty PS5 news or PlayStation Sony news. So there was an article that's been coming out about PlayStation's obsession with blockbusters. So this is from Bloomberg, and the title is Sony's obsession with blockbusters and stirring unrest with the PlayStation empire. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm actually going to throw a sauce in because I feel like he's very strongly opinionated to this. And I kind of want, I'm going to let.
Sauce? You're throwing in the sauce?
What?
You say
Sound like you're
sauce?
throwing in the sauce.
Sure. I'll throw him into the sauce. I don't know what that, I mean, I'm Italian. Sure. I'm sure that's a saying somewhere in my country, but.
I heard sauce instead of Austin.
It's not DeCosta sauce.
No. Keep me away from the sauce. So it kind of sucks because like when we were talking about this earlier, I think we covered it quite well. Not like in like the podcast, but we talked about it quite well. So it sucks because like this one little company, or not little like company, this little team was starting out to work on their own studio, part of Sony, right? And so
This is
Sony,
hold up. This is the TMIX team, right?
yeah, TMX.
Yeah.
So essentially, Sony has been using them to help studios that are behind. So, for example, Naughty Dog got behind on Last of Us 2. And so they were sent in to help out. But they want to flex their creative muscles, so to say, and try something new. And Sony's like, well, yeah, you can go ahead. Like, you just all you have to do is make a remaster of one of our games, right? And I think they settled on Last of Us, the
Yeah.
2013, because that way it's not so far away that they have to like redo a bunch of shit.
Well, it's well, just a point in here real quick. It's not just the fact that like it's more like because it's an easy seller, right? So if they were to do a remake of Last of Us 2, as opposed to the team being
remake
innovative,
Last of Us 1.
Last of Us 1, rather than the team being innovative, in a way that it is. This is where that title comes in, where like Sony's obsessed with blockbuster hits because I mean like Last of Us PS3, it had a PS4 remake. It's an easy blockbuster
PS5
sell.
remake now.
Yeah.
But
that's not true yet.
Or
that's not approved. That's not true yet. So we don't know.
But so they were tasked to do this essentially. But then Last of Us 2 got behind, right? So they went in to help them out. But in doing so, they got behind in their own game. And, well, one thing led to another. So Sony's like, oh, well, you helped out Naughty Dog. Now Naughty Dog's going to go and help out you, right? So all these different Naughty Dog employees came over to help out TIX. Well, a lot of the people at TIX like were sitting there going like, well, our decisions are getting clouded over by Naughty Dog staff and people, like because there's a lot of people on the Naughty Dog team that went over to help out TIX was on the original Last of Us team, and just having that on their belt like meant their decisions were focused on more than some of the other artists and everything like that. And in doing so, these people have slowly like got sucked up into Naughty Dog as a whole. Like as a joke, they're now called TX is now called Naughty Dog South. And like 90% of this original like small like 200 team is gone. Like the original creator, I don't remember his name, Andrew. Can you look it up for me, please? And the Like the 2 original bosses left. Like 98%
Michael,
of their different.
I think it was Michael Mumbar.
Yeah, Morboro or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left the team and he created the team, right? So it's just a sad story, man. You know,
Well, a lot of
people
them
to the
left at the
gears.
end. A
Yeah,
lot of them left at the end. Like, I don't think that team truly exists anymore, other than maybe
nope.
a handful of people. But yeah, so it just kind of goes to show that, people being moved around like that, but don't last. But that even being said, is that a lot more requested to be put on different teams. A lot of them wanted to move somewhere else, and what they were truthfully worried about was losing themselves into the Naughty Dog development, where they ended up in the mindset of what Naughty Dog wanted to do. They couldn't be creative on their own. They weren't able to do their own thing, or whatever it be, right? And so, and they're very talented developers that were working here. Like, they
Well,
helped on a lot of major games.
yeah, exactly. They were the team that got called in to save everybody's asses at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And they finally got their golden ticket. Their golden ticket was Last of Us remake, so that way they can go make their own stuff. And that option kind of got taken away from them, which is really shitty.
Yeah, so this also goes out to say that it's not just Sony that does this. Like, there's a lot of teams out in many different a lot of development teams under different publishing names that unfortunately get shot to the sideline, where, yeah, that this is kind of their job, where they go around and fix things, and in no shape or form are they able to do creativeness in their own way. So it's a sad side of development, is what it is. Like, these people put their heart and soul into games, and unfortunately, what they want to do never comes into fruition, right? Like, there are more games canceled than there ever is created.
Yep.
So
Well,
that
it's
just
business now.
it is, yeah. Unfortunately,
People
that
to
is as a sad
people to
side.
the grindstone.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk for days about the negativities regarding game development, for sure, and how a lot of people. I mean, honestly, a lot of people that do game development don't end up staying with the same developers than, for the previous game developed. They end up moving on somewhere else, where, they go work on something else. And I've listened to various podcasts where what they'll say is, if there's a game you like, see who developed it, because, there might be a particular artist you like, who developed that game, who no longer work at that company anymore, and they've moved on to something else and developed a different game, but with that same art style and that same concept.
And they might need your help.
They definitely, yeah. I mean, well, you know what? I didn't actually really want to go into this, but this is a good example. Is Hogwarts? Was it called Hogwarts Legacy? I think is what it is, with that open world.
Yeah,
Like,
open world Harry Potter game.
yeah. So I know a lot of people are going out there to, like, boycott the game because of, things that J.K. Rowling has said, within the
They're
last
horrible
year.
things.
Oh, hella horrible things.
But you
But that
gotta
being
learn to separate the art from the person.
100%, yeah. And I feel like, this is something that maybe this is a good example where, like, the developers have nothing to do with J.K. Rowling. They, like, Warner Bros. Maybe to some extent. I mean, like, we like, she's gonna make money off of this game regardless because of licensing, but
It's
that
her
doesn't
thing.
mean, yeah, well, it's her world, ideally,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that. And I'm not advocating. We're not advocating or saying anything she said is right. Everything she's ever
But
said
she's a
is,
dumb bitch.
yeah, she's wrong.
She's a
She's
dumb
a
bitch.
dumb bitch.
Yeah, but we can't take away the fact that she does own Harry Potter.
No, and so what it is like, yeah, you could. I mean, I know there's lots of gamers out there that want to vote with their wallet, and I know it's a very strong saying when it comes to EA and stuff like that. But everyone needs to realize that the developers have nothing to do with the publishers, in a sense that, like, they create what they want to create. And yeah, the developers have say to some extent, but the creators create what they want to say. It's their own ideas. They do what they want to do. And when everyone chooses to kind of do something like that, it sucks for them, because they worked really hard to do what they want to do. They were put in a precarious position that, unfortunately, they probably didn't want to be in, but I don't feel as though they need to suffer for their situation, because it was a situation they couldn't truly avoid.
Well,
And
they had no control over it.
100%. And it sucks. But like when people vote with their wallet to some extent, they also have to realize that there are consequences either way. Let's talk about Resident Evil 8 Village.
Yeah, I was at when you like you went away. We were kind of talking about it in between us. But yeah, no, Resident Evil 8 takes place. I want to say like it'd be funny if it was 8 years, but it's good. It's at least a couple years after Resident Evil 7, and Resident Evil 7 takes place like way after the other games. So essentially, you start as your like main character is Ethan Winters in Resident Evil 7. You have to go into a swamp to rescue your girlfriend or whatever. She's been missing for a couple years. This game takes place like years and years later because your daughter is taken by them, and essentially, it's really cool because it's no longer zombies; it's fucking vampires and werewolves, dude. Yeah, yeah, and so it's gonna be really interesting. I'm really excited. Like, some of the characters are a little different in this one. Like Chris Redfield, almost seems like he's gonna be a villain from the trailer I watched. In it, and yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. Like they're already releasing demos for it. Like for example, it's called 8 Hours in Village, the demos, right? And PlayStation is getting it first. The other ones are gonna get it later. But like for example, I have the dates up here on my TV. North America will be getting it April 17th, so today at 5 p.m. to April 18th, 1 a.m. Europe will be getting it April 18th, 7 p.m. to April 19th, 3 a.m. And Asia will be getting April 18th to April 19th, 1 a.m. Now that's just for the village part because there's also the castle part as well. So you'll be able to play the castle part of the game. So the village part is today, going on till like midnight or whatever, 1 a.m. But the castle demo, April 24th to 5 p.m. April 24th, 5 p.m. to April 25th, 1 a.m. in North America. Europe, April 25th, 7 p.m. to April 26th, 3 a.m. And Asia is in April 25th, 5 p.m. to April 26th, 1 a.m. So everybody gets to experience this game in reality. Just PlayStation is getting it a little earlier. And the demos are out, so like anybody who has a PlayStation can play it right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Sorry, I was trying to get this for everybody to look at, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Resident Evil.
No, is it just the type of gameplay or like
Yeah,
what?
horror games aren't really my thing. I guess
See, it's
I've been thinking about getting Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake because
they're really good.
they're on sale too on Steam right now.
But I'd get 7. 7 takes it to a whole new level because like the only like really scary part about the original games was the camera angle got you killed a lot. In these new ones, it takes you into first person, right? 7 and 8, 7 and Village are in first person, so the camera angle is not going to kill you, and it adds like another degree of horror, right? But it also brings back these old things that you really love about Resident Evil, like the item management, and you only have so many bullets, so don't shoot everything. If you can, shoot them in the legs so they fall over, and then knife them till they're dead. That's how I used to conserve ammo at the very least, right? There's a couple other things that came up on the Resident Evil 8 thing, like that, like I was saying earlier. There's the arcade thing. It's was a really popular thing that they added into 7 as what's it called? DLC, but it's just coming straight with 8, where it's like time trials and everything like that, which is really cool. And then there's going to be a crossover with Dead by Daylight. I don't know if you guys have ever played Dead by Daylight.
No, I haven't.
No.
That's a Ubisoft game, isn't it?
No, it might have originally been, but Dead by Daylight is a game where there's 4 survivors and 1 killer, and they do license stuff all the time. Like they got Silent Hill with Pyramid Head. They have Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. They have Michael Myers from Halloween. They have their own stuff. They have the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. right? So that is it's a really really like well, I mean, I used to really enjoy it. It makes me angry. I don't like being angry, so I stopped playing it. But it's really cool that they're getting a crossover with that and everything like that. But yeah, no, it like that. It was a really cool little thing. You get to play Resident Evil 8, give it a go. They're totally okay. Like they straight up said in the stream, like record it on your PlayStation, record it on your Xbox, put it out to the world to see. They want you to show everybody, so you're not going to get copyright striked either. So that's another good fucking thing, right?
Yeah, I'm currently streaming the demo for everybody on the podcast to watch.
What everybody's
Uh,
looking at.
Yeah. Well, I'm just showing what everyone, it's for everyone who didn't see it. They get to see it, except for the shitty ad that happens
Oh,
to using
look at
YouTube.
that.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking YouTube.
Oh yeah, working out at the gym.
But yeah, it looks like an interesting game. Like I don't know, maybe we'll give it a go and see what it's like.
I'll straight up play it for you.
Yeah,
I'm buying it.
Twitch stream at One Podcast for Nerds, everybody.
That
Yeah,
looks like
I
a
mean,
good game.
well, if you stream it, dude, I wish it was multiplayer because it'd actually be a game I'd totally play with you.
Well, I mean, I always joke about my friend Tex. I'm like, whenever I watch him play a game, I'm like, no, we're playing the game.
Yeah.
But no, like you got like actual puzzles and everything like that, and there's actually some pretty scary stuff. Like from 7, there's like the mother of the family that kidnapped your girlfriend, right? She's fucking horrifying. Like she turns into this weird like fly lady thing. It's like, hey. But yeah, no, it's like it adds a whole nother degree of horror because you're not sitting over somebody's shoulders; it's in your face. The thing I really like about this one though is because it's not zombies. I'm so tired of zombies. It's fucking vampires and werewolves. All right, so we don't know it's vampires, but I mean, if they're doing werewolves and like the castle part has all these regal people, it's gonna be a vampires, right? It has to be.
It seems like it's a first-person Castlevania, then, right?
No, because it's still
No,
Resident Evil.
It's not. Yeah, but it's not roguelike, I guess, would be a good aspect to say.
Yeah, it's definitely not a roguelike. It's
No.
It has its
I
own like it has its own style of gameplay. Like as you're seeing right here, as he's going through the door, you kind of got to figure out what's going on. And then it kind of reminds me almost of Resident Evil 4 when you first get to the village, you're not really attacked, and then everything hits the fucking wall, right?
I really like the fact that he was at a well and it says examine hit X and he's just jabbing at it with a knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're examining it, bro.
Right, and it's like the lighting like adds to the horror aspect. Like it's just going to be a really interesting game, and like I as a huge fan of werewolves myself, the fact that there's werewolves in this game that has me pretty pumped.
You know what? Sure, I'll give this game a go on PS5. I got a nice 4K TV now, and
yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it, man.
I think I should give it a whirl and see. Maybe I'll play it late at night with my red lights on in my house and.
Well, I mean,
he's back at the well.
Downloading it now.
Oh, I was hoping you tried knife it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's back at the well.
Yeah, try downloading it right now, man. You can download it right now.
Yeah, I maybe I'll try the demo out and maybe I'll stream the demo. But yeah, anything else you have to say about anything left on
viewers, vampires or werewolves? Let me know.
So always remember that you can email us at onepodcastfornerds@gmail.com. That's number 1 and number 4. Please let us know what you think of what your thoughts of our Resident Evil 8 Village, as well as let us know what you think about developers. Let us know what you think about the nindies that are happening, as well as what what are your true dreams. If what games would you expect Kojima to make for Xbox would be a good one as well. So yeah, please write in at onepodcastfornerds@gmail.com. I'm your host, Andrew. That's all that we have for this evening. As with me as always is thank you to Austin, Nolan, and Bones.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, remember that you can catch us every 2 weeks up until May, where we will become a more weekly podcast and we will give you the news every week. With all that said, thank you for listening. Remember, you can support us on Acast and Patreon and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, which you can find in the descriptions below. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful couple of weeks. We'll see you again.
Cheers,
Later, y'all.